Good evening and welcome to Lockdown Imbizo. This is another session. Today we're going to be discussing being black in corporate or being black in corporate South Africa. This is a topic that I really like a lot because I feel like if I had the opportunity to gain some of these insights before I myself joined corporate, I would be in a better place right now. But you know how we roll. I'm not alone. I've got the team with me. We're just quickly going to go around the virtual table and they're going to introduce themselves.
Hi guys, Apelele here. Yes, sisayipusha Imbizo. Sibiziwe kwimbizo kwathiwa sodiscussa being black in a corporate environment. Asiyibona ihamba kanjani?
Hey guys, what's going on? Imbizo Lights, Mkehla, all the way from Cape Town, but in the meantime, Silana, lockdown. Welcome to our session, Azish.
Sanibonani umvuselelo umhlongo lo isibuyile nje manje kaMgabhi bisadukile insukwana edukanga inyakanyaka le ngixolise bengimatasa manje umsebenzi.
We're going to discuss the corporate world. So most esikolweni, you only know that you're going to get a job and it sounds very decorated and well decorated. There's a figure spanini and then you just flourish. It's as easy as that most. That's the ideal picture that is painted out there. Kodwa mawufika lapha, hey, kuyanyiwa, corporate politics, corporate bullshit, corporate whatever. So I think I'm going to extend it. I'm going to open the whole floor. What are we tackling here when it comes to being black in corporate? What has been your experience like? What are some of the challenges that you found or that you've encountered?
Hey guys. Inzima le ndaba. This thing is hard because mina ngangabuzwa. I've been asked a question like grown woman with, I think I had like 6 years of experience at that time, working in corporates and stuff. So I started a new job and I was asked if I could use a computer. And can you use a computer? Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? There's that condescending tone. Oh, and it makes you wonder, why are you not asking the other people that you're speaking to that are not of color if they understand? Why am I being asked if I understand, Abo?
Can I interject? Was she black or white?
Obvious, white.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's that thing of thinking, no, this person is not going to understand what you're saying. This person is not grasping it. There's that patronizing tone, as I said, and like it's very condescending. Usman, just go check on Usman. Are you okay? Yeah, but it's like, why am I getting this extra attention? I'm even being asked if I can use a computer, and I've got work experience. I've got into this position because of my previous experience, and I typed the CV myself. How do I switch on? There's a lot of things, guys, and yeah, it's for me. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me that I struggled with was this whole thing of umuntu just thinking you are dumb, without actually saying it. But the problem is the treatment is so delicate in the sense of you can see actually, but they're not being offensive. They're not swearing at you. They're just talking to you like you don't have a brain and you need extra attention, or you are in remedial class. And it's just that general overtone. And for me, it's frustrating because it's not even distributed to everyone. It's for a selected few. Yeah, preach. Where actually I created a document or whatever, and that's been okay. Here's the document one. So, oh wow, when I went to the document, like, ooh, the English that's on here, and I'm like, why is the English a surprise when English? Like why is it like, ooh? If you read a document from someone, you just read the documents and you take it for face value. Why is it a surprise? Is it, oh, you wrote this? Like, why? It's that for me that is frustrating. And it's that for me that makes you feel before you even say anything, and you have to actually work extra hard to make it known. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. There's thinking behind this, and yeah, it's that, I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. I don't know what you guys have experienced. I don't know if you guys understand.
I hear you.
Before Keshungene, ngicela ukuzwa phela something. What have you done to make sure ukuthi wena you are ahead? Ukuthi I'm here, ngindlovukazi, and I'm black, and I'm not going to like be apologetic about it.
So it's difficult. Okay, to be initially, it was difficult for me to do any of those things because sometimes when you start off in company, and you always get this advice at home, no, humble yourself, just listen, learn as much as you can. And I think you get to a point where you realize, okay, cool, let me listen to this person above. Let me not jump to conclusions. This is the treatment, and this is how this person is making me feel, and this is why they're doing these things. You kind of first listen and try and observe, and when you realize, firstly, this person doesn't understand what they are talking about, and they are wrong, And once you start realizing, what is actually this, and you start making your voice heard. So you make your voice heard, you make valid points, you read up on things, just so when there are meetings and there's a broader group of people, you can make your points in front of the broader group of people, and you can say, this is a valid point, this is why it's valid, and this is what's going to happen, this is what has happened, or this is what has transpired. So you need to make sure that you know what you're talking about when I first, and that's how you make your voice heard, and you carry on. There were conversations where it's like, no, don't speak your home language here, or whatever it is, and I'm like, I will speak my home language. I'm speaking to people that understand the language, because people, if you are speaking your home language with other people, it's not an issue, So you do things like that. You still show the same humility that you'd show if you were at home with other people. You just stay true to who you are, but you make sure that you know what you're talking about. You don't conform to become something else. You just make sure you're a story circle, and you are yourself, and you are unwavering about it. And I've got a strong personality, so I think my personality in its essence, it has a bit of presence. So I'm this because Zulu. If you are there, if you don't understand, it's fine. But there's many instances where we don't understand what you're saying. Like we're meant to laugh because and it's funny when you have your conversations and your jokes in your language. It's what you do, and it's funny and it's fine. But you can't be now unwavering and super considerate of abantu that are inconsiderate of those instances. You make your points without making your point sometimes, just by showing them behavior and also not wavering just because ukhona bona. So yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be very short. I think being in corporate as a black male, as a black man, as a black body, it's kind of difficult. You know what I mean? Because there's something called the boys' club. You know what I mean? There are a bunch of people within a particular group of people within the organization that makes bonke. And if you get there as a black man, as an outsider, you get to miss what's happening in the inner circle. You are outside of the circle. Get what I'm saying, guys? So there's a circle, and there are these people who are in the circle, and predominantly in that circle, Leo, it'll predominantly be Abelungu, Balab. So you find that you miss a lot of things that are happening within the organization, because things are dealt with and brainstormed at a particular venue, not within the environment itself. So let's say there's a company wants to put in a new feature or do a new product. These guys would have a braai somewhere else, you know what I mean? And then come Monday, they put the idea forward. And you are left behind, you're left outside because you're not involved in the brainstorming. And then when you ask questions, it seems like you're like, this guy is an idiot. Doesn't know what he's talking about. So for me, I feel like we are put on the curve. We are there mainly to window dress and be these BEE guys and let the company be compliant. So that's what I've experienced in the corporate as a black body, and it's kind of challenging. But what you need to do is I just find it that I push, I ask questions. Doesn't matter if I may seem like I'm competent or nothing, but I'm there. I go in their faces, I want, and it's kind of tough, But it's not in all organizations, but in a particular one that I worked for before, it was kind of tough. But yeah, Vu, what you got to say, man? I'm done. 5 minutes.
I have one question for him. Okay, actually it's two, depending on the first question. Have you worked in corporate in Joburg?
Yes, I have in Joburg, yeah.
What's the difference between Joburg, Cape Town, and Stellenbosch?
Oh wow, this guy's becoming personal. So in Joburg, it's a very multi-cultured, multiracial place. You know what I mean? So everyone is easy to mix with. And then when you come to a place like Stellenbosch, it's very predominantly white Afrikaners, and it's not easy to interact with those kind of people, you know what I mean? Because they come from their own culture and their own backgrounds. And then in Joburg, we are here for work, and it's, you know what I mean? So get what I'm saying? Yeah. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no, you tiptoed around it, trying to be politically correct. It's fine. I'll forgive you for that. So I don't know if I should mention company names or whatnot, because this to me is personal.
Don't
okay.
mention.
Okay, I won't mention company names. So first, I'm going to start with the split between Joburg and Western Cape, or Gauteng and Western Cape, right? Western Cape completely kills dreams, and most people will assume it's only based on me, but it's based on the number of my friends who've been in Western Cape and have left. Whereas in Gauteng, you go to meetings, you go to interviews and interact with people, you're in boardrooms where you find that the head is black, and if you communicate now, or he's an Indian guy or whatnot, and you don't feel the sort of resistance that you felt when you're in the Western Cape, right? So another part is corporate is a culture on its own. And unfortunately, the person who sets the culture comes from a different culture. So how they were raised and where they come from sort of influences what they set up in their own company. One of the challenges I had was the way I speak English. They blatantly told me that we understand that English is not your home language, because I wouldn't twang. For me, Rosberg is Rosberg. It's not Rosberg. It's facade. It's not facade.
Bridge.
It's Pietermaritzburg to me. It's not Pietermaritzburg. Yeah. So my R is not R. It's R. So those are the things that you come across, and how you speak, the institution you studied at. People who studied at UCT and Stellenbosch and Rhodes and Wits get far ahead than us, because most of the people who run those companies are from there, and the founders are probably from there as well. And then when I feel from UK as a 10 UJ, DUT, MUT, TUT, you actually have to work 10 times as more as your black counterpart.
University of Venda. University of Limpopo.
Yeah, and then having to work 10 times as hard as another black person, you still have to work 100 times more than a white counterpart, because we can't deny that systematic racism does exist in corporate. People are chosen from the moment they walk in. And Uketa spoke of a boys' club. I heard from a lady on one of the companies that I've worked for that this feels like an boys' club. And I then thought of a black woman working there, because they are the bottom of the food chain anyways. How she must be feeling working in a situation like this. And then another part of corporate that we Kesha mentioned around BE, it's more on now. This is my view on the black execs, black leaders and whatnot, black heads and all. Yeah, no, I know it sounded wrong when I said black heads, but yeah, they do act as gatekeepers as well. They don't set us up. They don't sponsor us. We have to sweat so much for us to be heard. You sit in a boardroom, the only black person, and then you raise a point, and then they will tell you, oh, okay, what Umvu is trying to say is invalidating how you pointed it out. So, we cooperate in South Africa as a whole, and Western Cape is the worst place. No offense, it's the worst place. I remember reading an article from two people from LinkedIn. One is a very close friend of mine. She wrote it by publish. It was more like a post she made about how she's going back to school instead of staying in Western Cape. And the pay gap amongst Abantu, it's so bad. Some will even tell you what they'd rather pay a fine for not being BE compliant or a wage gap than to actually give them what they deserve. And on several occasions, I've actually had to be aggressive in the manner. I won't tolerate being looked down upon. And I've always made a point that I'm not there because someone called in a favor. I've actually worked hard to get there. And if I was hired because of the color of my skin, then you've got a wrong person there. Yeah. I remember one of my brothers was telling me, review. You know those year-end performance, what. But again, you are too Zulu. So it's similar to me. Like you calling her something or a feminist because she's raising points, and now I'm saying that you are too feisty. Calling someone feisty is an insult when they're raising valid points. And now says we tribalize and then to you are too Zulu because, and then my brother was like, yeah, I am, because like I'm proud of what I am, so I won't tolerate any form of disrespect. Don't make me feel as if I'm part of the conversation when I'm not. Then rather not invite me into the conversation at all. Yeah. So like kuning yeah, when it comes to pays, when it comes to bonuses, because in terms of lives that your colleague won't know because Yena is not at that level. And then in Zokuluma actually need to know say level. And then when you start asking yourself,
how are we doing on time?
Guys, we're like 10 minutes left.
All right, cool. So for me, in corporate, there are two challenges, right? You've got one challenge that comes from your white counterparts, which has to do with race, and then you have got the one that comes from your black counterparts. And I want to focus more on the black one because it's the one that is much more painful, and it's the one that you usually are not prepared for. So when I got a job and I knew I'm moving from Johannesburg to Stellenbosch, I sort of braced myself for that. Which you know, I'm kind of going to. Actually, I'm far, so I'm ready for that war. So I'll be fine. But when you get there and you find Uguti, the most of the fire that you get is actually coming from those that are like you, and then it shifts the whole thing because you did not prepare for that. And that is the biggest issue when Umvu says there's a difference between Gauteng and Western Cape. And I agree with him completely, 100%. The Western Cape, in terms of being transformed, in terms of being progressive, it is still very much behind. It is still very much the apologists of certain behaviors that are no longer happening in the modern day South Africa. So now what this has created is that you've got the few black elite that have made it to the top, and these are the people that are supposed to be driving change and trying to ensure that the environment is smooth for the other black people that are coming through. But their mentality is that I went through a baptism of fire, so everyone else must go through that. Instead of getting to the top and really making meaningful change. So that is the biggest challenge in corporate, because you can go back to Joburg now. Joburg, the racism part in Joburg is not a prominent thing, but this black on black in Joburg is also there, because again, as a black race, we are competitive. We are very competitive, and we are always against each other. And it comes from, there are many reasons to that. Amongst that is that house slave and house nigger mentality that came during the days of slavery. There were things that came as a result of colonialism, where it created a perception that if Kehla is going to be an executive, it means Thabiso is not going to be an executive anymore. And that's not how it works. So we are sabotaging each other, constantly trying to bring each other down, because we are of the opinion that if Kehla sits at the table, I'm going to be the slave that sits at the cottage or at the back of the house for the rest of my life. So that's where the sabotage, that's where the challenge is. And I mean, I want to call out on this one of black on black. Asibay again, let us challenge each other.
Yeah. Yes.
And then now, that's where now Mvu's question will fit to everyone now, to say, what has each and every one of us done to make sure that we improve the lives of other black people when they join corporate?
Okay. Yes, before Paula something, black on black. We mention house nigga and what and farm nigga nan. Part of the root in South Africa is that Tina, it's more on tribes than that mindset. Reason being, if we check the divide and conquer in terms of farmer settlement, INZ, Northern Transvaal, Natal, Transkei, Ciskei, and whatnot, and then now Mfano Mzulu, Mfano Mswati, Mfano, and there alone causes sort of friction ends are like because who would you rather report to? Umuntu uzokutshela isimanga ukuthi they'd rather report to someone oswanga lena instead of just saying ukuthi my manager needs to be someone who doesn't micromanage. No. They first thought runs to tribe.
Yeah.
Or race with that regard. And one of the incidents I'm gonna be brief with this. Ngiyashayisa emsebenzini the class 10 for under kuyona are having beers nan. Ngiphethe lunch bag yami ikhule ngaka, ngiphethe laptop bag, ngiphethe phone, ngithi ngiyobamba ubeer nami, ngibeka ikhula bag, kahle ikhula bag engiphatha ngayo emsebenzini because I eat a lot. Mangithi ngithatha ubeer, omunye umlungu yamemeza kumina uzothi kimi no taking beers home. Yabo. And my first instinct was ngathi nakena, and I didn't even know ukuthi reporter is the next in line who go direct. Ngathi nakena, who said I'm taking beers home? What? No, but you're carrying that. No, that's an assumption you make. With the other guys came and took beers. Who did they look like me? Or is that why you're assuming that it's those minor things. Omunye engaging Tombazan, they congratulate about so you're gonna get married, are you gonna have kids and none. But so how many kids do you have? And I'm like, Is it because I'm black and we're reckless around having kids? You don't do family planning. You know I'm not married. You know I'm not engaged. So, like, what exactly do you mean? And it's those minor things. And the thing, Asula, is that if you're going to have a conversation with the black people at the top, that you know, overlook those things. Yeah. And then you start asking yourself, so sekumele mina ngicompromise mina then futhi umuntu engangibiza okay uma sobabili it's fine because ngiyadla kahle kahle. And black executives and black people who are at the top in corporate, like they just there for show in majority up.
Yeah, and I think also it brings about credibility to Gucci. Mabaketa, the black people that actually get to the top. It's usually people that they feel will advance the agenda. So I'm going to close it off now because it's building on to. Sure.
They'll say, Gucci, why are you different from the other black guys?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, hey guys, I think I hear what you guys are saying.
Yeah. No.
I
want to close it off because we're gonna. The next topic is gonna be black on black, and I think it's going to build up on this one, and then most of the stuff we can say in the next session. So, lockdown Imbizo, being black in the corporate environment.
Yeah.
Have a good evening. Bye.